We can take that ridge.
We can. And we will.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Unpopular Opinion. And today, guys, I am going to be talking about the greatest comedy movie that you've never heard of. Guys, today I'm going to be reviewing the movie Nothing to Lose.
You bastards have tried this too many times.
Oh, listen.
Shut up!
Guys, Nothing to Lose is a 1997 comedy film starring Martin Lawerence and Tim Robbins. It's a really, really funny movie, and it's extremely underrated. But before we get into the video itself, I humbly ask that you give this video a like and you subscribe to my channel. It costs you nothing to do so. It's totally free, and believe it or not, one like can go a long way, and it really helps me out. Also, guys, follow me on Instagram. That's going to be linked in the description below. Please give me a follow. I want to boost my follower account. Can't do it without you. But anyway, guys, let's just get right into the video. So the story is about Nick Beam, and Nick Beam seems to have the perfect life, the perfect wife, the perfect job. He's an executive at a successful advertisement company, and one day he comes home from work early and he sees that his wife is cheating on him and she's having an affair with his boss. So in a moment of sadness and despair, he decides to go for a drive, and he drives through a rundown urban area, and some guy tries to carjack him. This guy, Martin Lawrence's character, his name is Terrence, tries to carjack him.
Welcome to hell, bitch!
But being that Nick has nothing left to lose, he doesn't care.
Keller, I'm talking to you. Can you hear what the fuck I'm saying?
So he turns the tables on him and drives him out to Arizona.
Boy, did you pick the wrong guy on the wrong day.
And as a result of this weird car road trip, whatever you want to call it, the two decide to team up and rob Nick's boss, steal all the money in his vault in his job as a way of revenge.
Am I hearing you right? Mr. High and Mighty's gonna rob his boss?
Now, guys, this movie is gut-bustingly hilarious. Martin Lawrence, I always loved Martin Lawrence. I always loved Martin, Wild Hogs, Big Mama's House, all that stuff. Martin Lawrence has always been like extremely, extremely funny to me. And this was like probably the funniest Martin Lawrence performance ever, because the funny thing about the movie is like Tim Robbins' character and Martin Lawrence's character, they're completely different types of people. Nick Beam is this white-collar businessman kind of professional dude, where Martin Lawrence he's one of the brothers. He's from the hood, and you see the conflict and them bickering and nagging back and forth like a married couple, and it's really, really funny.
I'm not up on all this jive-talking homeboy lingo. What's that supposed to mean?
That's what I told the bitch.
It means there's a spider on your motherfucking head.
Like, all they do is argue and they bicker and they kind of hate each other, but towards the middle and towards the end, they start to like get along and work together very well, and it's just hilarious.
I don't want to die like this, Nick.
All right.
I wasn't trying to stick you up, man.
And the funny thing is, everybody knows Tim Robbins from The Shawshank Redemption. Guys, The Shawshank Redemption is one of the greatest movies of all time. I actually agree with that. It's one of my favorite movies. Not only is it one of the greatest movies of all time, in my opinion, but most people can agree, like it's in the top 10. So when people hear Tim Robbins, they think of The Shawshank Redemption. But believe it or not, the first movie I ever saw him in was this. So I know Tim Robbins from this movie.
You're a fat idiot.
And it's always really cool to see traditionally, typically dramatic actors or serious actors dip their toes in comedy. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but this was awesome. He was actually super funny. One of my favorite scenes in the movie. Nick and Terrence get attacked by two rival criminals, and they're on the side of the highway, and they're arguing and they're bickering, and there's literally like a scene where a full minute, they're all yelling at each other like, shut the F up, no, you shut the F up, and then Terrence accidentally shoots Nick. And he's like, you shot me.
You shot me.
I'm sorry, Nick.
And then the whole, you don't say you're sorry when you shoot someone.
You don't say you're sorry when you shoot someone.
You don't say you're sorry when you shoot someone. Just the way Tim Robbins, it was so hilarious.
You don't say you're sorry when you shoot someone!
I mean, not only that, like the soundtrack and the music in the movie was actually pretty good. It was like a combination of 90s and 80s hip-hop with jazz and I guess slightly cowboy music, because they do go out west for a little bit. It's just pretty good musical score, pretty good soundtrack in the film, and I just love the jazz riffs of the film. And then not for naught, there are pretty cool moments of like actual down-to-earth acting. The whole premise of the film is Nick is devastated that his his wife cheated on him. And the irony is, like, I watched this movie when I was a kid, like really, really young. I shouldn't have watched this when I did, but I was watching it with my parents, and the opening scene, it just shows how great of a relationship that Nick and his wife had. And I'll never forget what my mom said. It was either my mom or my dad. They were like, yeah, this movie is absolutely fiction. There's no way a married couple's this happy. And it's like, whoa, okay. And then you see the toll it takes on the guy. So you kind of feel bad for him, but it is also like really funny at the same time how it unfolds. And then, spoiler alert, what happens is after all their nonsense and after he goes from being a happy, cool business guy to he's now committed himself to being a criminal.
If you wanted to rob a place, there are smarter ways to do it.
Enlighten me.
A mask. Wear a mask.
He robbed a convenience store or a hardware store. He broke into his company building, stole hundreds of thousands of dollars from his boss, and showed his face on the tape.
How does it feel, Philip?
Then he calls his wife to confront her, and it turns out it wasn't actually her, it was her sister and her fiance, and it was a huge misunderstanding.
You're gonna laugh, but I actually...
So he's like, oh, what have I done?
Shit.
What's the matter?
And that's just, it's hilarious. Also, I really, really love the rival criminals as like the villains of the movie. Like John C. McGinley, he's really, really funny. Like he can either play like real hardcore assholes in movies.
No.
Or like goofy people. But the fact is, this is a goofy movie, but he plays a hardcore asshole.
Time to die.
And honestly, when Terrence accidentally shoots Nick in that standoff scene, the look he gives was priceless, because prior to that, Nick went on a tirade of insulting the guy, and he's like taken aback, like, you're standing up to me? And then when Nick gets shot, the look he gives, he's like, it's just so funny. And then the put down the gun. Put down the gun, you idiot. It's just great.
I'm sorry, Nick.
Put down a gun.
Shut up.
Put down that gun, you idiot. Would you shut up? I'm shot here.
I mean, he plays like a real intense criminal where he's like, you know, I like you like this, Nick. You and your prom date carrying weapons, so I don't have to kill an unarmed couple. It's not my style, Nick.
Come and take the bag. You're an idiot. Shut up. There are killers, and then there's everybody else.
I love it. Guys, I know I'm kind of rambling on, but I really recommend this movie. It is beyond hilarious. It is super funny. There's a lot of great moments to it. And it's one of those comedy films that probably will never age out, because we all know this inherently, that comedy is kind of relative to the time where it comes out of. Most people would agree that comedy from the 70s is probably not as sharp as comedy from today, because what people found funny then and what was pushing the envelope then is different from what it is now. But some of the gags in this film will never not be funny. One such gag is there was a scene where two characters burst into an elevator kissing. You know, like that romantic trope where people, they're like passionately making out and they go into the elevator. But in the movie, they do that and they weren't paying attention and the camera zooms out and there's someone else in the elevator awkwardly like, that is hilarious. Or when we meet Terrence's family, like he's got the stereotypical black mother who's like, don't you talk back to me, and smacks him in the face.
Mine.
Don't you talk back.
Don't talk back to your mother.
And every time he smacks him, Martin Lawrence starts crying.
You got that slap cause you with him.
And it's hilarious. Like Martin Lawrence crying in this movie was really, really funny. So overall, the chemistry between Tim Robbins and Martin Lawrence was phenomenal.
We are in the desert.
The fact that Tim Robbins can actually pull off being seriously funny is stellar, and it's a testament to how great of an actor he is. And it's just a fun, goofy, casual movie that you can watch on a Friday night with some friends. Honestly, this is the type of movie you can watch over and over again. It's just that's how good it is. So in the end, guys, Nothing to Lose is a very funny movie. I really recommend that you watch it because it is the greatest comedy that you've never heard of. It's a shame that people don't really talk about it that much anymore. It's a shame that it doesn't really enjoy the cult status or the icon status of other great comedies of the time period, because I do think it is actually one of the best comedies. It's an underrated comedy gem. So if you have some time, give it a watch. You will not be disappointed. And if you are disappointed, well, sorry. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for you. That is Nothing to Lose. So guys, like the video, subscribe. Remember, one like goes a long way and it really, really helps me out. Also, guys, please follow me on Instagram. That will be linked in the description below. I'm trying to get my follower count up, so if you can help me out, I'd be much obliged. And I'll see you on the next Unpopular Opinion.